You want some Pickle Rick on your sandwich?
I'm Pickle Rick!
Hello, friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Thank you so very much. I'm humbled by your gesture. Today we're jumping into r/NeckbeardStories. Yes, we are giving another chance to Velveetabeard. Hopefully the party demon OP is gonna prove to be less hateable than the beard. Really, all you gotta do is stop talking about yourself and continue talking about the beard. Like, my requirements for being a good OP are pretty easy. Contrary to what might have been established last month. I think I'm a pretty lenient dude, all things considered, but there's some stuff that just gets under my skin. First episode was bad, second episode not as bad, third episode went back to bad again. This is the fourth episode, and I guess we'll just have to see how it goes. Fingers are crossed. But if you notice the episode length getting super long, then yeah, I probably had a lot of ranting to do about it. I guess we'll find out. Let's go ahead and get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive right into some of this r/NeckbeardStories cringe. Also, we're live streaming this on Twitch, so come on through. Thanks. Velveetabeard 4, Part 1. 4-1? Is that... what's going on here? The Halloween weekend of the living Velveeta. Alright, sure. Why not? Little Halloween special. It's a little bit out of season, but not by that much, I guess. God, this year's just flown by. What? Where's my life going? I wish I could just wind it back for just a little bit. Hold on just a little bit long. We're already halfway through the goddamn year. Ugh, just give me a moment while I have a bit of an existential crisis. Okay. Posted in 2 parts due to Reddit's character limit. Oh, that accursed character limit. YouTube also has a character limit. Like, if you got too much character, then people will tell you, hey, ReddX, you rant too much during the videos. And I'm like, get out! Get out! I don't want to talk! We've gone from just being a character to being a downright asshole. That's fine. It's all fine here. Part 2 is, yeah, over there. We got that. Episodes 1, 2, and 3. Those links down in the description if you haven't seen them quite yet. And it's the same old cast, but here's a new character who is middle school nice guy. Weren't we all kind of nice guys in middle school? I will go ahead and admit that I was. Because that's about the point where you're experimenting with dating, you're overprotective with your girlfriend and shit like that. At that age, you have an excuse. Middle school, that's fine as far as I'm concerned. You're getting it figured out. But yes, he is a nice guy that Velveetabeard, Big Titty Goth Girlfriend, and I encounter in this episode. Why y'all hanging out with middle schoolers? How did you cross paths with a middle schooler? That's what I really want to know. Seems a little sus. Just the slightest bit sus. But okay, I give it a pass. Whatever, man. He was a short, balding man who thought he was cooler than everyone in the room because he didn't dress up for Halloween. He's called Middle School Nice Guy because he taught middle school. Oh! I am greatly relieved by that. Thank fuck. I was gonna have a real problem with that, but okay. He's a teacher. Probably shouldn't be a teacher because he doesn't know a damn thing himself, but good for OP, I mean. Really unfortunate for all of his students, but OP gets a pass for this one. Edit. I added another interaction of Velveetabeard being cringy to this one. Thinking about it, the whole interaction I added should have been in this story originally. Yeah, you tend to do that, OP. You just go off in the woods and you're like, let me tell you about this time that I put champagne in a watermelon. And I'm like, what happened? It's a Neckbeard story, not cool party demon whoa story, right? Let's keep that in mind in the future. I feel like these are just too much of me doing drunk weird shit when I have more creepy Velveetabeard interactions that I could be including that for some reason I didn't think were relevant when writing these the first time. Fuck. This is why we should go beyond a first draft, okay? You can't just write a post and slap it up and be like, that's a masterpiece right there, because yes, it needs a rewrite, okay? You could save it as a draft in your little folder there and roll it around in your head a little bit. And then you probably won't get dunked on as much. It'll make the whole reading experience go a whole lot better for everyone involved, including the people listening. At least there is like a bit of self-reflection trickling through that lets me know that, me dunking on you, it is doing its job. There is going to be some self-improvement in this goddamn post, whether you like it or not. So good. I'm glad. I hope that we can, build on this progress in next week's session. And maybe we'll, actually get a story that's like 100% beard. OP just happens to be there. No more weird drunk shit. Pinky promise? I know it's probably not going to happen. And it does tell me a lot about, your character. You are a bit self-absorbed, but as always, I do appreciate you sitting down to write the story, so I'm not gonna knock you too hard for it. At least it's more readable than Pizza Hut Beard. Although that's a pretty low bar to get over. Anyways, it was October, and Halloween is my favorite holiday. Party demon, whoa! Around this time of year, this very weekend, in fact, an anime convention is hosted in my small college town. While I'm not a connoisseur of the finer anime, I do like nerdy shit like Kingdom Hearts, as I apparently never grew out of my high school emo phase. God, that is so relatable. One of my super emo bros in the Navy got a heartless tattoo on his chest, And the tattoo actually looks super cool until he went to the hospital and got MRSA, and it just became a giant scar on his chest. Oh God. I cringe just looking back at that. I had sewn a Kingdom Hearts Organization 13 costume for myself, and I was ready for Halloween. I know the costume is pretty stereotypical, edgy nerd shit, but I was into it at the time, and it was for Halloween. Yeah, I'm not gonna knock you for that, Dress up as whatever you want. Halloween is your day. You can be whatever you want on that day, okay? At least you didn't get a heartless tattoo on your chest that got infected with MRSA. I wish I could unsee it. I wish I could go back in time. But let's backtrack to the previous weekend where Velveetabeard tells me of his plan to combine Halloween costuming and this anime convention into a scheme to pick up cosplay ladies. Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna work out great for everybody involved. I mean, I guess it is fairly easy to pick somebody up at an anime convention. You do know that you have at least one thing in common, right? I ain't never been to a convention myself, but I have to assume that it's a little bit easier than picking somebody up at the grocery store or something like that. Big Titty Goth Girlfriend and I were hanging out in a room smoking weed as we normally did every day, even though you didn't know where to buy it, right, OP? Oh, know where to buy weed. It's a college town with a rehab, but where's the weed at? No, I'm just razzing you. Get out of here, you crazy kids. When Velveetabeard saunters in with manly Kate Moss confidence. Manly Kate Moss? Alright. Velveetabeard was so goddamn excited. Velveeta says, guys, you know how the anime convention is next weekend? Well, I have the perfect costume. I'm gonna be an alternate Rick from Rick and Morty. Yeah, you're gonna be the doofus Rick. You know that guy eats his own shit, right?
What's that dipshit doing out there? Are you friends with him? You know he eats his own shit, right?
Oh, you guys are always so mean to me. That was only one time.
I'm I'm the worst Rick of them all.
Velveetabeard is the doofus Rick, bro. OP just says, nice. What parts of the costume do you have? Whoa. Velveetabeard, I already ordered a lab coat, and I have the wig. This is so basic. Yeah, great. Awesome. That's all you need. You don't want to make yourself like a portal gun or something like that. Instead, you're just like, yeah, spiky hair and a lab coat. What else do you want from me? I'm here to pick up chicks, not look like Rick from Rick and Morty. I can tell. Velveetabeard then quickly runs up to his room and returns wearing a spiked blue wig, long blonde hair flowing out from all sides. He wore it this way, almost like a hat, when actually wearing the costume as well. Velveetabeard, you gotta put your hair up if you're gonna wear the wig, or if you want a believable wig. Maybe that's how he gets away with it. He's just like, I'm an alternate Rick. I'm the blonde Rick. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but okay. It's a bold strategy. Let's see if it works out for him, Cotton. Velveetabeard, I even convinced this one girl I worked with to be my Morty. But guys, the anime convention is happening right downtown, and cosplayers are gonna come into the sandwich shop, and they'll see my sweet cosplay. Yeah, I'm Sandwich Shop Rick! You want some Pickle Rick on your sandwich?
I'm Pickle Rick!
Oh my god, bro. I'm Fat Neckbeard Rick! Put the Mountain Dew up your ass, Morty. You gotta put it way up there. Oh, Rick! If you poof it, it's free, Morty. Come on, help Grandpa out. He turned himself into a sandwich. The funniest shit I ever seen. The memes write themselves, honestly. I'm so glad that we got a Rick and Morty episode of Velveetabeard. Anyways, OP says, yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea. I feel like you'll get bigger tips for being in cosplay and waiting on cosplayers. Velveeta's like, yeah, the tips. He's not trying to get the tips. He's trying to give the tip. You know what I'm saying? Hey! Because his whole penis is just the tip. It's a micro penis situation. It's really quite sad if you think about it too much. OP. Yeah, the tips. Okay, we've established it's not actually for the tips. It's for the miladies. It's been mentioned 3 times already. And with that sort of foreshadowing, surely he's going to get him a lady at the end of all this, right? Velveetabeard says, I was thinking we could convince some cosplay girls to hang out with me after my shift. Because we both like anime. And Rick is fucking awesome. What girl wouldn't want to be with him? He's a genius. Yes, Rick and Morty is my favorite anime. And just because you cosplay a genius, yes, it does make you a genius. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that's how it works. 90% sure. You put on that wig and it just ingrains itself into your brain, and suddenly you realize how to travel through dimensions. It's also pretty classic that he's like, yeah, I want to convince some cosplay girls to hang out with me. Like, how many girls are you looking to disappoint, bro? As many as possible, apparently. Just stop. You'd be lucky to get one, okay? Her self-esteem has got to be bottom of the barrel. How many chicks like that do you think are walking around? Well, probably at an anime convention. You know what? I take it back. Wind that whole thing back. Big Titty Goth Girlfriend says he's always drunk, an asshole to everyone, and constantly burping. What about that do you think that girls are into? Velveetabeard. You don't understand anime girls. Rick is so cool. I'm gonna get all the cosplay girls. I'm even doing the voice. Yeah, Neckbeard Rick voice. That'll be an interesting one when we get to it. And again, is he painting Rick and Morty as an anime? I'm going with that as well. Not ironically in any way whatsoever. Rick and Morty is my favorite anime. Don't at me in the comments. OP just says, I don't think this is gonna work, man. Whoa. Velveeta. Shut up, guys. It'll work. You'll both see. Come in next weekend, and you'll see me getting cosplay girls' numbers left and right. Yeah. I think that he thinks that he's doing way better than he is. I mean, hope floats, you gotta give yourself a reason to exist from weekend to weekend, but yeah, all of this is going to lead to disappointment, I'm pretty sure. Big Titty Goth Girlfriend and I did come in the next weekend after the events of this story, and this is what we saw. Bro, we Tarantinoing all over the fucking place right now. Hold up, wait a minute, take a breath, okay? I would really prefer a linear story if we're having trouble telling the story properly. But okay, it's your show, I mean, it's my show, but it's your moment to be on my show. So do what you gotta do, I guess. There were actually a lot of people in cosplay eating at this sandwich shop, as it was a pretty big sit-down place where you could also order from the counter, and it was like 2 blocks from the convention center. Velveetabeard was spastically sprinting around to all the tables that he was waiting on, with his Morty coworker in tow. He's really trying to impress some people right now. This is adorable. This is my Morty. Can I please have your phone number? Who would agree to be his Morty, honestly? I want to be the Morty for the shittiest Rick in existence. No! Come on now. He would insult her in the same way that Rick would insult Morty in the show, in front of all of his customers. I guess you find a chick with daddy issues enough, and maybe she will be into that sort of Rick. But it's sad. Then he would do this sort of weird in-character negging towards all the women at the table while burping. I can't do a burp on command, so we're going to go ahead and skip that part of the voice. I'm pretty sure he also had a flask on him as well. Was he drunk while at work? I don't know, but he was pretty fucking committed to being in character. Yeah, can we fire him? He's terrible at what he does. Why are you walking around harassing customers at the table? I'm trying to sit down and have a fucking sandwich. Get back behind the counter, sandwich monkey. I'm Sandwich Monkey Rick. Oh, God. I feel like the logic of this type of Rick and Morty fan is always, I'm a drunk asshole, and this genius cartoon character is also a drunk asshole, and therefore, I must be a genius. Honestly, I'm pretty sure that's like a vast portion of Rick and Morty fans. I don't want to come at the show as a whole, but I will, just a little bit. Maybe I hate it so much because I was a drunk asshole. Did you also watch Rick and Morty? I'm Party Demon Rick! Whoa! Or maybe I just hate it so much because being drunk or smart doesn't give you an excuse to be mean to people. Oh, you've cut me to the quick right there, OP. I'm dumb and sober, and I'm just mean to a lot of people on principle. But I shouldn't be mean to the OPs, honestly. They're out here writing stories, doing their best. Yeah, there was no second, third, fourth draft, but at least he presented a tale for me to read, okay? What more can we really ask for? I'd like to say that I'd wind it back, that sentence would cause me to change, but honestly, I really do like being an asshole. Although I don't really think that I'm that way for no reason. That's my defense. If I'm mean to you, you probably deserved it in some type of way. And if you didn't, then okay, I'll admit that I was wrong. But most of the time, I think I'm pretty on point with that. Anyway, I'm piecing together what he said as Big Titty Goth Girlfriend and I were only sitting close to a few of the tables that he was waving at. But here's how it went. Velveeta. What do you guys want? Morty waiter. Our specials are... Velveeta. Shut up, Morty. No one cares about your specials. Then the table tries to order. Velveeta directed at one of the girls. What's your cosplay of? Cosplay girl? Oh, it's, whatever cosplay it was supposed to be. Velveeta. It's pretty good, but I could do better. I could show you how to make it better. We could hang out after my shift. Whoa, you coming out way too thirsty. That's way too strong, Velveeta Neckbeard Rick. Take a couple of steps backwards, okay? At least he is coming correct, you know? He doesn't have any pretenses. He's not trying to pretend and make it something that it's not, but to me, it feels like he's just trying a little bit too hard right there. From, hey, what's your cosplay about, to like, I could make it better, we should hang out. Pump the brakes, don't insult the person you're trying to hang out with, and maybe try like a couple more sentences in there before you invite them to hang out. Jesus. Cosplay girl, of course, doesn't fall for any of this, and she's just like, haha, that's okay. Velveeta. Fine! Burps and takes a swig from his flask. If you want to look as bad as Morty here. Bro, you got hair hanging out the side of your wig. Don't come at Morty. He's a precious boy. Velveeta. Alright, Morty and I will be back with your order. Go fuck this up, Morty. Morty. Oh, okay, Rick. Velveeta. You know, Morty, I'm gonna get that girl's number. She's definitely into me. We'll probably meet up at the anime convention. Yeah, probably. Just keep hope alive. See, even when he's shot down, he's just like, I still got a chance. Stand in the corner, bro. Think about what you're doing with your life, alright? This girl obviously wants you to leave her alone, but you're like, nah, I'm gonna stalk her at the convention. What would make you think that that's a good idea? So as great as this wooing was, Velveetabeard did not get a single cosplay anime girl that would totally be into Rick. You guys just don't understand. Number. I'm shocked. Shocked! Well, not that shocked. Saw that one coming from a mile away, but again, as long as it gives him what he needs to continue existing, sure. Okay, let him think whatever he wants. Fast forward to the day of this story. Oh, that's right, the sandwich shop was after the story happened, so we're Tarantinoing again? Okay, sure, why not? Have it your way. Big Titty Goth Girlfriend and I were hanging out when Soybeard and his girlfriend arrived at Big Titty Goth Girlfriend's house unannounced. I mean, unannounced to you, but wasn't Soybeard Velveetabeard's friend? So maybe he invited him or something, and you just weren't privy to that? We talked about our Halloween costumes for a while, then Big Titty Goth Girlfriend decided to go to the store to get some food. It was at that moment that Soybeard put on a blistering math rock solo, and I knew, deep down in my brain's heart, that the day was about to shift into shittiness. Why you feel this way about math rock, OP? Honestly, I haven't, seen or heard Soybeard do anything that horrible. I mean, he did sort of stand idly by while Velveeta assaulted a chick. That ain't too cool, but my working theory is that OP finds Soybeard threatening, because Soybeard has a personality outside of, I'm the party demon, let's get drunk, whoa! You know, he's into music, and he's got a girlfriend, he's got his own stuff going on. And OP just gets really defensive when he can't be the coolest one in the room. Again, working theory, but that is what I have gleaned from every interaction between Soybeard and Party Demon, limited though they may be. Velveetabeard had just gotten off of work, and neither of us had eaten yet, so we decided to get some food. Namely, 99 cents a box Velveeta-based meals. And he's feeding you and shit? Sure, he's a cringe lord, but how can you pass up free eats, right? Honestly, the one time that I tried them with Velveetabeard, they weren't terrible. No idea how he ate them for almost every meal, though. Mac and cheese good, bro. What's wrong with you? Velveeta mac and cheese? Yeah, that's some of the best stuff out there, alright? The only thing that can top that box shit is when wifey does it. Oh, she sprinkles bacon bits on it. Oh, what a woman. I'm so lucky to have this woman in my life. I don't have to worry about boxed mac and cheese anymore. She's like, you want some mac and cheese? We'll make it up right here. I'm like, oh, she says we, even though it's only her doing it. Fucking God bless that woman. Not even the best meal that she makes. She's so talented. She's so wonderful. I could go on, but I don't want to make the story about myself because I'm not Party Demon. Whoa! After we got back to Big Titty Goth Girlfriend and Velveetabeard's house, Velveeta convinced us to go to the anime convention before hitting up some Halloween parties. Yeah, we gotta go party, bro, because I'm the Party Demon, bro. Whoa! Are you too cool for the anime convention? Apparently he's not. And again, you know, OP's going to wingman Velveetabeard. I mean, even the best wingman in the world isn't gonna get Velveetabeard any play, but I guess good on you for never giving up hope. Velveetabeard wanted to check out the cosplay ladies. We all worked in the service industry, besides Soybeard, and there were parties going on almost every weekend in October, thrown by whoever wasn't working. Yeah, so I can make it my whole personality, boy. There's another thing. Soybeard wasn't in the service industry. Do you feel threatened by that? You can be honest with me, OP. Just be like, I didn't like him because he was a more interesting and well-adjusted person than I was. And I'll be like, okay, at least you're being honest, you know? I respect that much. But instead it's just all vague, like, yeah, Soybeard's a piece of shit. He likes math rock, whatever. That's really your base. Okay, fine, have it your way. You feel how you feel. Anyways, we all put on our costumes. Big Titty Goth Girlfriend was a pretty good vampire, and Velveetabeard was a horribly accurate alternate Rick. He burped just as much, was almost drunk just as much, and was a complete asshole. His costume was actually pretty good. And it was back when the show had first come out, so there were like 100 Ricks all wandering around the anime convention. God, that sounds like an absolute nightmare. Which alternate Rick are you? I'm Neckbeard Rick. I'm B.O. Rick. I'm Poop My Pants Rick. Can y'all just go home? Can y'all just stop it? Velveetabeard was taking pictures with the other Ricks and the random singular Morty and trying to talk at various miladies as he normally did. Yes, talk at them is extremely accurate. It's interesting that nobody wants to be a Morty. Everybody wants to be a fucking Rick. Too many chiefs, not enough Indians, you know what I'm saying? Then Big Titty Goth Girlfriend and I left and decided to go to the Halloween parties. So we're just leaving the beard behind again? I guess we did get, like, you know, a bit of a aftermath story before the actual story happens. But there is no actual story. It's like, yeah, he went to the convention and took pictures, and then we left. Come on, dude. Did he do anything cringeworthy? Are you gonna make this about yourself? Don't do it. We were doing so well, OP. We were doing so well. We show up to the first house party, and it's a bunch of random people in costumes sitting on a couch and watching a movie. That's about the lamest party that there is. It's less party and more kickback, right? Y'all at least got some free weed? Cause I don't know where to buy it, cause I'm Party Demon. Whoa!
This is some good shit.
I lead the way into the kitchen as I knew the host of this event, only to see a loose arrangement of a few people. The host of the party was there with some of her friends. The other people were a nice guy that I will dub as middle school nice guy, as I later found out that he was a middle school teacher, which for some reason made him think that he was superior to us lowly service industry workers and his friend. I mean, it does require a degree. It doesn't get paid that much better, so I don't know how far you should be looking down your nose. Really, just probably don't compare jobs at all. If your job is who you are, this is the only trait of your personality that you have, then it's honestly just sad. Although I don't think that he necessarily presented that information up front, because OP said that he found out a little bit later. So he's not like, hi, I'm a middle school teacher. What do you do? Oh, you work at McDonald's. Psh. Oh, I'm better than you. There was some reading between the lines, a little bit of hanging out that had to be done in order to suss that out. And again, it might just be OP's ego trying to preserve itself. Maybe middle school nice guy didn't say a goddamn thing about service industry workers. But I don't want to speculate too much. I guess we'll have to see. He was the only person at the party not in a costume of some sort, as apparently it was beneath him. At least pretend, bro. At least be like, yeah, I'm in costume as a middle school teacher. I'm in costume as an average dude. I'm in costume as a party demon. Whoa!
Greatest costume ever! Oh my god!
The host and her friends ask about Big Titty Goth Girlfriend, Mai, and Velveetabeard's costume, and we start to talk about him. Oh, Velveetabeard came with you guys? Okay, I guess. That wasn't made exceedingly clear. But okay, I guess we're rolling with that now. It is at that moment that the ranch crust begins to break from around his hunched form as middle school nice guy turns around from his violent dip eating to see what the commotion was about. Violent dip eating. God, I love that mental picture. And he gives me a smug, what are you supposed to be dressed as kind of look. I don't know how this guy didn't realize that he was eating ranch dip so intensely that it got all over his shirt and hands and even his fucking neck. But apparently, he didn't. His neck, bro? Is he just sticking both hands in the dip? That's unsanitary. What are you doing out here?
Sheesh! Oh,
That's ridiculous. But apparently, yeah, he can't afford dinner on a middle school teacher's salary or something like that. Oh boy. Middle school nice guy just says, so what are you? And OP says, I'm a character from Kingdom Hearts. Have you ever played the games? Whoa! Middle school nice guy scoffs. No, I don't even know what that is. Video games are for children. You know, this dude plays video games in his spare time. Or he really, like, legitimately doesn't. He gives up, like, one of the purest joys in life just so he can feel like a bigger man. He's like, yeah, I've never played a video game. Well, maybe you should try it. Like, really, you're not fooling anybody. You're a bald, fat, pudgy dude. Like, you look like you play video games, okay? The fact that you're walking around touting that you supposedly don't play video games, nobody's believing that anyways. But OP just says, they're pretty fun video games, man. You should check them out. I mean, Kingdom Hearts is fucking legit. I do want to play them. Only problem is I think they're like a cloud service thing on Switch, and Lord knows I ain't paying money for a cloud-based game. Ew! Maybe I'll go on the internet and pirate them or something like that. If I ever find some time to kill, which I don't have time to play any video games these days. Velveetabeard says, video games aren't just for children. I play them. Devil May Cry 4 is possibly one of the greatest video games of all time. It is pretty legit, though. Velveetabeard, I get you. I'll back you up on that one. You can rack up style points for killing enemies in cool ways. There's these YouTubers that play, and they get like 10 million style points on a run. I wonder if I have Devil May Cry 4. I wonder if people will watch me get tens of style points on a run. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not very stylish. I just wanted to play the games, okay? You don't have to be amazing at the game to enjoy it, is my point. Middle school nice guy just ignores us completely and cranes his ranch-encrusted head over to big titty goth girlfriend, the host, and her friend. Middle school nice guy says, have you ever heard of this bullshit? I mean, look at these guys. At least this one nerd is Rick. You trying to rip on people in costume to people in costume? Something tells me this ain't gonna work out how you think it's gonna work out. How have we not met this guy yet? He's like the most insufferable person in the story thus far. I haven't really felt the urge to punch any... well, I felt the urge to punch Velveetabeard when he went all sneaky fingers on that sleeping girl. But aside from that one event, yeah, I think I want to punch middle school nice guy more than basically anybody else in this story. Big titty goth girlfriend defends video games and says, I actually like Kingdom Hearts 2. I grew up playing the video games, and Velveeta does make a good Rick. Yeah, go to bat. It's all of us cheese nerds against that fucking cheese nerd. We're all cheese nerds, but he's outnumbered. So there you go. Rip and tear intensifies. I want to play some Doom. More than Devil May Cry. More than Bayonetta. Yeah. Rip and tear. Middle school nice guy says, Halloween is just for girls to dress up in slutty costumes. To attract guys like me. No self-respecting man would wear a Halloween costume. Oh my god. Ugh. Are you kidding? You think you're a high-value male? You're a balding middle school teacher. I hate to tell you, okay? You could be balding or a middle school teacher or down to earth. Any of these things, you know, just pick one and you won't be completely insufferable. But this guy really wants to tout how great he is to everybody around him. Nobody's buying it, dude. Go stand in the corner. Stop it. OP says, my guy, your friend is in a costume right over there getting a drink. Oh, called out. Therefore, you are wearing a costume through the transitive property. Because your friend's wearing a costume. Boom. Got him. Middle school nice guy says, whatever. This guy's costume isn't even that good, is it? And why would an adult even dress up? I bet he didn't go to college. It is a dishwasher or some shit. That probably cost his whole paycheck. I'm an educator. I shape young minds. My only response to I shape young minds would have been, how terrifying, and then you walk away. Just disengage, because you're never gonna get over this guy's ego. He's constantly just gonna flaunt how great he is because of his fantastic college degree. Like, bro, you could have gone to college for engineering, anything else really, and made more money. But you chose teaching? Why? You want to hear another working theory of mine? Because he's a fucking groomer. That's why. He's looking for his middle school lolly girlfriend right now, as we speak. I hope he dies. But yeah, working theory, like I said. Big titty goth girlfriend says, his costume's pretty good, considering he made it by himself. Middle school nice guy. Yeah, probably because he couldn't afford to just buy it. I know I'm being an asshole. You're liking it, though. All girls like assholes. Yeah, that's why rimming is so big with the kids these days. A little bit of that analingus. Go ahead, try it out. It's good for you. Oh, that's not what you were talking about. Okay, never mind. Wind it back a little bit. Dude is out here flexing like, oh, I make 28K a year. It's like, yeah, well, that dude makes 25K. You really think you're on a different rung of the ladder making $3,000 more a year? Come on. I get a couple extra $100 a month. I'm a big baller. You need to pump the fucking brakes, bro. He really does have nothing else going on in his life. I'd like to feel bad, but yeah, he is just a miserable human being. Somebody put him out of his mercy, please. Big Titty Goth Girlfriend says, no, I'm not into that. Nobody is. I have never actually heard someone say the all girls like assholes line IRL, but it happened with this guy. I have heard it IRL, unfortunately, but it does always turn out exactly how you think it's gonna turn out. Dude's like, no more Mr. Nice Guy, and everybody's like, okay, then no more maidens. You don't have to be a jerk. You don't have to be a nice guy. Just be a normal human being. Act like you would normally act. Unless you would normally act like this guy. Okay, everybody but this guy. Act like you would normally act. Now, readers, I grew up in a pretty conservative area where people would get called the F slur for not dressing in normal clothing. Think like only jeans and flannels and sports team jackets. God, that sounds miserable. I don't want any part of that. Let me dress how I want to dress. Oh, I dress in flannels and jeans and sports team jacket. Okay, never mind then. Jeans and t-shirts. You got a problem with that? We could fight right now. I wonder what is so not normal about Party Demon's mode of dress. I mean, I do recall from the cast list that he has like a mohawk and stuff like that. I guess the town ain't that conservative if you could walk around with a mohawk and not be like ostracized, right? We never established what part of the country this is, but I don't know. I don't think there are that many places that are that conservative. But again, maybe that's just outside my frame of reference. I mean, I grew up in California, for God's sake. Basically, anything goes. Everybody there is too self-absorbed to really pay attention to what anybody else is doing. Anyways, I've gotten into fights over this growing up, to the point that I had a tendency to get irrationally angry when people did this type of thing to me or my friends at the time of this story. Irrational anger is not a good thing, although in this case, the anger does seem pretty rational to me. Like, this dude deserves to get his ass kicked. Kick his teeth in. Teach him a lesson. Bet he ain't gonna walk around flexing his 3K extra a year anymore, looking down the nose for his little fucking 4-year degree. Like I said, the best comeback that you could have done is, you know, he's like, I shape young minds, and you're just like, that I'm mortified. Please stop doing that. And you walk away. Just leave him to stew. But, you know, failing that, I guess beating the shit out of him could work too. I'm not saying that I'm for it. I'm not saying I'm against it either. I'm gonna sit on this fence quite comfortably. So that's not to say that I'm super tough and can beat anyone in a fight. I don't really know much about fighting, and I've lost my fair share of fights being dumb and getting overly angry about this type of thing. Well, at least you can admit to that, OP. High five, up top. See, the humility is sinking in. God, I love to see this. OP, you're getting better. I did dunk on you a little bit. It seems like the even-numbered parts were doing much better than the odd-numbered parts. So Big Titty Goth Girlfriend was telling middle school nice guy to fuck off, and he was still insulting Velveetabeard, and I was taking off my coat part of the costume as to not ruin it while attempting to fight this guy. As I said in story 2, past me would start fights over dumb stuff like this a lot. I have since stopped. I mean, honestly, I don't think this is all that dumb. Dude is trying to dunk on everybody around him to be the biggest man in the room, and yeah, Somebody needs to alpha up, as it were, and remind him of his place. You're a fucking nobody. You're a bald middle school teacher, and I'm about to fucking lay you out. And then, next party he goes to, you think this is gonna happen? It's not. Also, yeah, you're definitely gonna win this fight, so don't worry about that part. Unless he pulls out some, like, Brazilian jiu-jitsu you didn't know he had. I guess you can never really tell if you're going to win a fight, but on paper, just looking at our combatants, yeah, I got my money on OP. That's fine. It was at that moment that divine providence intervened on behalf of both I and Middle School Nice Guy. Middle School Nice Guy's friend saw what was going on and stepped in with a quick, I think you're too messed up, bro, directed at both Middle School Nice Guy and I. Middle School Nice Guy protested, but was eventually wrangled to the other side of the kitchen by his friend. I was surprisingly wrangled by Velveetabeard with a barrage of, don't sweat it, don't get in a fight, he's not worth it, all said in a Rick voice while burping. Unboxing ring Rick! Admittedly, it worked, and I realized how dumb it was to try and fight some guy over him insulting my Halloween costume. Okay, but he's not really just insulting the Halloween costume, is he? He's insulting you as a person. He's insulting your way of life. He's insulting everybody around him. And if nobody else is gonna step up and put this guy in his place, I could see myself doing it. I don't think that this is a dumb thing to get in a fight over, but then again, I have also been in a lot of dumb fights. I have also lost my fair share of fight. That's why I get a little punch drunk sometimes. I can't make my words come out properly all the time, slurring my speech just a little bit because I've been hit in the head a few too many times. But this guy, yeah, it might be worth a punch to the head. We're handing out life lessons. Trick or treat, what'd you get me? A lesson that you'll never forget, all right? At the very least, you could, like, try and egg him on. You know what I mean? Start talking that crap right back at him. Make him try to swing on you. And then it's self-defense, right? Hey, big brain time. Unfortunately, I'm big enough to the point where nobody ever really tries to swing on me. But just make him think that he could, you know? Tell him that he gets the first punch for free. And by that, you really mean like you could get this lawsuit for free. You go to jail instead of me for free. So let's get into the next part, I suppose. Not really sure why it's in two parts, because it doesn't seem like 45,000 characters to me, but if OP says it is, then I guess, whatever. If it makes you feel better, then that is what it is. So let's get into it and see how it goes right now. Velveetabeard 4, Part 2. Yeah, I'm still with it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. There's no Part 3, right? 4.3 and 4.4? Because I can't fit that in this video. This is already running a little bit long. But alright. Velveetabeard isn't very beardy in this one. It's mainly sociopath and ginger potato being creepy. If you want Velveetabeard creepy only vibes, then skip to episode 5. You know I can't do that, friend. You know that I'm contractually obligated to read all of these in order, don't you, friend? If you missed the last part, for some fucking reason, it's in the same video. What's wrong with you? The TLDR is, we go to a different Halloween party. A guy tells me he's a sociopath and beats someone up for some reason. And then there's a different beard and he acts creepy. Oh, it's a TLDR not for the last part, but for this one. Okay, good. So if you want to skip this part, I guess. I'm not going to, but whatever. TLDR usually comes at the end. But you do you. Like I said, it's your story. I'm just here, taking the ride, I guess. Previous episodes, yes indeed, still in the description. Same old cast, but here are the new characters. Sociopath! A self-described sociopath that I met at a party. Bro, we are gonna have an edgelord fight on our hands right now. Sociopath versus party demon. Whoa! Everybody look out! Just a really creepy, weird guy that for some reason wanted to tell me of his various edgy sociopath ways. Kind of like OP wants to tell me about his various edgy, drunkard ways. But yeah, I guess sociopath is more cringy than party demon. Actually, it's too close to call. I can't, I can't make that call. What do you think, comments? Sociopath or party demon? Which is a more cringe title to give yourself? This dude was about 5'1" with a crustache. I don't really remember too much about his appearance, but I do remember the barrage of weird things that he said to me. Ginger Potato is an orange-haired, potato-shaped man, 6'1", and a milady-seeking neckbeard that I met. He had a big, fluffy tuft of hair on top of his head with everything else shaved. I only had one interaction with him, but it was a bad one. Why would you cut your hair like that? What's going on?
You little pumpkin pie hair-cutted freak.
But okay, Ginger Potato off the bat doesn't seem as bad as Sociopath, but I guess we'll have to see how bad the interaction is, right? Let's continue this from where part 1 left off. It was after realizing how dumb it was to try and fight someone over insulting a Halloween costume that I thought it best that we just leave the previous party instead of being around middle school nice guy any longer. You let him win, bro. Don't let him win. Maybe that is my ego speaking. I wouldn't have it that way, though. I couldn't let it be like that. Our beardly band of Halloween adventurers headed back to Big Titty Goth Girlfriend's house to change, as the next party was prom-themed for some reason. That is fucking weird. Miss me with that, bro. You think I'm doing a costume change in the middle of the night? You let me come in my Halloween costume or I'm not coming. I don't care. I got unfinished business with middle school nice guy anyways. But yes, we all changed into more formal attire, and we were off to pick up Soybeard, who was doing some hipster thing until now. Leave Soybeard alone. He's a nice guy, isn't he? And I mean that in the best way possible. He's like a legitimately good guy, from what I could tell. At least most of the time. I mean, people have made mistakes in this saga. Everybody's made mistakes in this saga, but that's kind of how life is. We can move on from those things, can we not? I mean, Velveetabeard can't. Remember the sneaky fingers? Remember the sleeping girl? Yeah, he needs to get some karma for that one. Velveetabeard was wearing a red suit with a black shirt and a red tie. He'd been watching an anime about vampires for the past week, and he told us that he bought the suit to look like one of the characters. Where's Velveetabeard getting all this expendable income from? He works at a fucking sandwich shop, and he can afford costume changes? That seems ridiculous to me, bro. Stop spending your money on suits and lab coats. You have a problem. I forget what anime it was, but he told us all about it on our way to this party. Soybeard was wearing one of those hipster, everything is knitted and costs a disgusting amount of money suits. See, Soybeard hasn't even dunked on anybody once. It's pretty clear that he's making more money than everybody else here. He doesn't work in a service industry job, but unlike middle school nice guy, he doesn't feel the need to rub anybody's nose in it. I like Soybeard, honestly. He seems like a cool dude. I have said from the first episode that him and I could probably kick it. Velveetabeard says, "Hey guys, I look pretty suave. The suit looks almost exactly like whatever vampire anime character it was. Yeah, except that you're fat and weird." The one caveat. Oh, that's where they got me. I can't change what is contained within the suit. But the suit itself, you're right. It looks completely on point. OP, are you going as a vampire? That would be cool. Velveeta, no, but girls will be all over me. Girls love men in suits. And mine is the best out of all of ours. Yeah, that's all it takes. You put on a nice suit and walk down the street and you just hear the sound of sopping wet panties hitting the ground as you walk past. I know, I've spent $6,000 on a suit before and it works every time. Totally not a waste of money. Spend your money on something better. A gym membership, how about? That's what I would advocate. Work on what's in the suit. How about that? Soybeard says, anyone could get that suit. You just bought all the pieces at H&M. No one will be wearing anything similar to mine. They probably won't even know where I got it. Yeah, because it's so obscure, hipster beard. I see what's going on here. I guess that's the first line that we've really heard Soybeard say. And yeah, it is fairly insufferable. I take back everything I said. Velveeta, whatever. I look like anime vampire character. Soybeard, you don't look exactly like him. I watched that anime with you. Velveeta, we'll see who gets a girl at this party then. It's gonna be me. Yeah, let's make it a competition. That's a healthy foundation for a relationship, isn't it? You guys are so fucking weird. Forever maidenless, and for good reason. OP jumps in and says, Soybeard, don't you have a girlfriend already? Soybeard, yeah, but I can still get girls better than Velveetabeard. Again, solid foundation for a relationship. Okay, it confirmed he's a piece of trash. This is the point where we can't kick it any longer because you have no respect for your significant other. Shameful. Big Titty Goth Girlfriend says, guys, chill the fuck out. It's just a prom-themed Halloween party, which seems really weird. I'm still questioning that a whole heck of a lot, but okay, you have it your way. Velveetabeard and Soybeard always seem to be in some sort of weird competition over who was more attractive to girls. Why does it have to be either one? Neither of you are attractive to girls. Both of you will die alone. They were friends when talking about anime or Magic the Gathering, but they seem to hate each other whenever this sort of deal came up. I do remember being like young and coon-brained and dunking on my friends in hope of getting the girl, but that's really not the way to go about it. Bros before hoes is like a big thing, just not in the way that most people mean it. Such as, if you're cheating on your girlfriend, I'm gonna let your girlfriend know out of respect for her and to keep you honest. That's not hoes before bros. That's putting being a decent human being over this false-ass friendship. You expect me to just hold on to your dirty secrets? No, dude. I can't do it. That ain't me. If you can't respect her, somebody needs to. That's all I'm saying. So this party was like a 30-minute drive to get to, and in a horrible unnamed town next to a factory straight out of Silent Hill. Sounds like a ball. Welcome to Paper Street, guys. We pull up next to the Nightmare Factory and see the house. It's a relatively normal house for this sad middle America state, and I would have never suspected that I would actually find a sociopath and a neckbeard inside, but readers, unfortunately, I do. I mean, it's right next to a Nightmare Factory. Of course there's a sociopath and a neckbeard inside. What'd you think, it was full of candy sprinkles? This is basic. Let's put two and two together. So when we enter, we're greeted by a very high school pre-prom party scene. I make my way to the kitchen, grab a beer, and turn around to see a small man with both of his hands down the front of his shorts. The fuck? This is Sociopath. Clad in a tank top and gym shorts, he was the only person at the party not in some sort of fancy outfit. Oh yeah, he's breaking the mold, bro. Watch him go. He greets me with a, hey. OP. Hello. Sociopath. I'm host's friend. Kind of. I just got out of jail. Weird flex, but okay. This is probably not how you want to introduce yourself to normal people out in the real world, okay? That sort of paints you in a bad light off the bat, immediately. But OP seems to take it in stride and says, "Oh, shit. What were you in jail for, sociopath?" I'm a sociopath. Some guy was talking to me, and I got on top of him and beat his head into the ground. Bro, I almost killed him. Is this guy not 5'1"? How big was this dude that you jumped on top of? If a 5'1" dude jumps on top of me, it's like wearing a heavy backpack. How did any of this go down? I'm pretty sure he's making all this up anyways. Flexing to strangers, telling lies for clout. I don't get it, but okay, continue on. And while he's saying all of this, he's fondling his equipment in his gym shorts right in front of me. Chris Trucker, is that you? OP, trying not to glance down and vomit. Why would you even be tempted to glance down? Don't do it! What'd he do though? Like, why'd you beat him up? Sociopath. I just wanted to fuck him up. I have to not do that again, or I'll go back to prison. I have urges, though. I love the sight of blood. Okay, nice meeting you. Bye.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.
Exit. Stage left. Why would you not be getting the hell out of there at this point? There's no way that this conversation is gonna go well, is there? It was over as soon as it started. See you later, fella. OP just says, "Ha, I hope you don't do something to send you back to prison, man." Big Titty Goth Girlfriend had been listening to this entire conversation and saved me from talking to this guy more with "Babe, there's some cute pets upstairs and you gotta meet them." Yeah, I'll take it. Thanks for throwing me down a lifeline. Really, you should have just walked away. Screw the social contract. Dude is being weird as hell. Not obeying the social contract, and so guess what? I ain't gonna do it either. Heavens to Murgatroyd, I'm out of here. Nobody remembers that shit. That's a real deep cut. Big Titty Goth Girlfriend and I go upstairs, and I see a huge cage with the host's rats in it. She tells me that they're old, so we can't take them out. I had a lot of animals growing up, and stressing out animals isn't something that I do, so I just look at them, sleeping, and we talk about how smart rats are. God, they are so smart, aren't they? Beautiful little creatures. I love them so much. And if the host has rats, I might actually put on a collared shirt to come and hang out with your rats. I don't want to hang out with people at the party, but the rats, yeah, we could kick it for a bit. It's at this point that a girl that's friends with Festival Girl shows up. I'll call her the Dab Fairy, for she toted a dab rig with her. I mean, that's cool, but also, like, get a personality again. Thanks for the dabs. Now get the fuck out of here, because you're uninteresting. You're gonna kill my whole buzz by accidentally talking to me after I take the dab. It seems pretty cold, but I'm just being honest. I'm just being for reals. The party was pretty pleasant, aside from Sociopath and his penis-fondling ways. What? Why didn't anybody say anything about it? We're just letting this guy do whatever he wants. This 5'1" little gremlin walking around the party with his hands wrapped around his penis. Or not his hands. Probably not even his hand. Probably just like two fingers wrapped around his penis. So we decided to leave the rats be and rejoin the party for some prom-themed Halloween vibes, leaving the Dab Fairy and the host behind. Why did we introduce the dab fairy at all? Okay. In the room next to the pet room, there's a man projecting lights onto a wall as a sort of prom picture backdrop and spinning records. There was also a keg and a large potato-shaped man standing next to it. Why was he alone at a house party? Because Ginger Potato here was a neckbeard looking to pick up a prom date. He saunters over with confidence, stomach, and the vibes of Zap Brannigan saying guacamole. All wrong. He immediately grabs Big Titty Goth Girlfriend by the waist and pulls her close. Alright, now we fightin'. Who do you think you are? You don't know that woman, you keep her hands off her. Especially if it's my woman. Break his hand. It's the only way that he'll learn. Idiots like this, they only learn through pain. You gotta hurt him, OP. You gotta hurt him! Ginger Potato. You're a cutie. Big Titty Goth Girlfriend shoves him away and says, "What the fuck? Why would you grab me?" Well, I guess OP's not gonna step in. It's up to Big Titty Goth Girlfriend to defend herself. Which, you know, she's more than capable of, but if that's my lady, you doing that shit? Like I said, now we gotta fight. Ginger Potato says, "Sorry, I just know the ladies like dominant men." Why does everybody seem to have this impression? How are we running into so many neckbeards in just one night? It's really weird. Big Titty Goth Girlfriend says, "Ladies don't fucking like being grabbed by randos." Yeah, get out of here, sloth! Hey, you guys! Finally, OP decides to step in now that the situation's essentially handled, and he says, "Whoa! Don't touch my girlfriend, or we're gonna have a problem, whoa!" This should be like instinct. This should be completely reactive at this point. But God bless you for trying, I guess, OP. Nice try. It's not too late, I swear. Ginger Potato says, "You know, I once fucked a bride on her wedding day." How am I even supposed to respond to that? Again, weird flex, but okay. Who asked? Where are the askers? Ain't nobody asking.
Where are the askers, my friend?
OP, what? Why are you telling us this? No, for real. He's having this whole conversation in his head, and then he just drops a line in the middle like we're supposed to all pick up and understand what the fuck is going on. Ginger Potato says, "Ladies can't resist me, even the ones with boyfriends." Yeah, look at you. Everybody loves fucking Sloth from the Goonies. That's that's the only face that I can see when I picture Ginger Potato. Big Titty Goth Girlfriend says, "Oh yeah, what woman could resist a potato-bodied, grabby man-child?" Ginger Potato, "Just wait until I get you alone tonight." Okay, punch him. Punch it. He just threatened to rape your lady, bro. You just gonna let that slide? God, I'm so tired of spineless OPs, man. I think that's the main reason that neckbeards get turned into neckbeards, is because nobody's there to, like, be the wall, to teach them that that is not socially acceptable. At least swing on him. Is he bigger than you? Doesn't matter, bro. You gotta be down for your shit, right? Are you not? You're just like, please don't say that about my girlfriend. If you say that again, we're gonna have a problem. he just said it. He's up here pushing the envelope, and you're just like, yeah, it's not very nice what you said. Where's your dick, bro? Grab your balls. It's time. It is beyond time. Okay, you didn't want to punch middle school beard in the first part. I kind of get it. But this dude This dude needs a punchin'. A real good punchin'. So I was both grossed out and enraged at this comment. But before this unpleasant interaction with this potato man could go on, the dab fairy reappeared with her dab rig. Ginger Potato then realized that another milady was in the room. Yeah, that shit doesn't really matter to me. I still have to punch you for what you said. Another milady enters? Okay, I guess she's watching this fucking happen. You think the dab fairy's gonna save you? Never. Ginger Potato says, is that a dab rig? I could totally outsmoke all these fucking guys. Yeah, I'm so impressed that you could take dabs for free. How about you bring your own shatter and then I might consider being a little more impressed. But you didn't, did you? You're just like, I want to smoke as much free shit as possible. Can we do that? No. What makes you think I'm interested in interacting with you on any level? Dab Fairy says, we can all smoke if you want. Weed isn't a competition, though. Oh my god, she's such a pure soul. I talked trash about her a little bit earlier, but that one line, I'm like, she's cool, man. You're right, weed isn't a competition. Drinking is also not a competition, party demon. I like having a low tolerance. I drink 1 bottle of soju, I'm off my ass. just, you know, do what you enjoy and chill out with it. Don't turn it into something it's not. I like you, Dab Fairy. Up top, high five. We could kick it. But I'm bringing the shatter, because I'm not a user. I don't think I could even dab. It's been years since I smoked weed. My brain would go into orbit. How about we just start with something a little bit easier? Ginger Potato stands strong on his hill of stupid and says, these guys are wusses compared to me. I'll show you girls how much a real man can smoke. And then I'll get with both of you. I'm surprised OP hasn't punched him yet, honestly. What world do you live in? What planet is this? That all of a sudden you smoke up all this girl's wax and you're like, yeah, now we totally bang it out. Like, she's already being nice to you by sharing her goods. And you want to take that even further and be like, oh, because she's nice and shares her weed, she'll totally bang me? No, bro. You're not interesting at all. Little potato person. That's what it be. OP tries to grab his balls back and pushes against Ginger Potato, saying, why do you think grabbing girls and insulting people is gonna get anyone to like you? That's a pretty fair point, but yeah, don't even have this conversation, really. Just punch him. Remember all that unbridled anger he had in the last episode? Where did that go? This dude's like literally insulting your lady, telling you to your face that he's gonna bang your lady, and you haven't swung on him? Come on, man. Come on. Ginger Potato says, it's called negging, not something that someone like you would understand. It's so basic, so basic. It might have worked a decade ago. Now all these idiot pickup artists are finally picking up on negging. They're like, yeah, this seems to really work. Just give me money and I can make you understand how it is that it works. OP says, no one likes negging. Has this ever worked for you? Ginger Potato, obviously, you're just trying to delay taking a dab. Because you know I can smoke more than you. And you guys don't want to be embarrassed in front of these ladies. Yeah, that's why. Not because it's a stupid competition to have. You've already embarrassed yourself simply by suggesting the competition, simply by insisting that this is gonna make you cooler than everybody else. You dumb as hell. Now, I can't stress this enough. At this point in my life, drinking or smoking weed more than other people is not a cool feat. But at the time, I thought it was the height of coolness. So I accepted Ginger Potato's challenge. Now, it's not something that I could sign off on, you know? I just spent my whole time saying this isn't the way that it's supposed to go, especially when it's somebody else's wax that you're smoking. But if the dab fairy has agreed to it, then yeah, I hope that Ginger Potato gets absolutely smoked. Like, quite literally. Pun not intended. I hope that you put him under the table so he can't even walk. He just passes out. I had never taken a dab at that time, and I thought that it wouldn't be that intense, but I was so wrong. Yeah, dude, that is highly concentrated, okay? That is some wild shit. Honestly, I swore off dabs for a while. I didn't want to do it anymore because it ruined my body for like just regular smoking. I'd smoke a bowl and be like, yeah, I don't feel that much from it. Dabs are so wild. I also question how you could truly call yourself the party demon, whoa, if you'd never taken a dab. But okay, we're not dab shaming over here. It's fine. There's some stuff people haven't experienced, you know. We'll roll with the punches. But you are going to earn your party demon title tonight, right? You're not going to lose, right? After he insulted your girlfriend, you better push through the fucking pain. Ginger Potato grabbed the dab rig and a large amount of whatever magic weed potion goes with it. Weed potion? It's like wax, bro. It's not a liquid at all. And he takes his dab. I do the same with the same amount as Ginger Potato without realizing what had just happened to him. Velveetabeard, Soybeard, Big Titty Goth Girlfriend, and the Dab Fairy all followed suit but used significantly less weed extract. Yeah, it's not a wise idea. This is not something that you want to flex about, okay? Do you want to enjoy the rest of your night? Or do you want to just go to the moon and fall asleep somewhere? There is no right answer. I'm legitimately asking. Ginger Potato was jettisoned into space, so far above the realms of what a potato should ever know. And I was boarding my own personal rocket. Ginger Potato could no longer speak at this point, as the dab apparently reverted him to his original earthen form. At least that ended his negging. I was also having a shitty time. Yeah, why? I don't understand, man. These fucking kids, you know. I can't sign off on any of this. But if it happened, it happened. It is what it is. Ginger Potato eventually struggles his way out of the room, and a few minutes afterwards, I return to Earth, somewhat. Apparently, he immediately left the party and drove home. That means you win, OP! Make sure to rub it in his face if you see him again. I don't blame him. The dab was a bad time. I don't even know how he drove in the state that he was in. I mean, was the wax that the dab fairy carried around, like, dirty or something like that? Because I've done some, like, pretty big dabs, but then again, I kind of built myself up to it. If it's the first time taking a dab and you take a huge one, yeah, you're gonna be sort of fucked. But I am glad that even if OP lost, so did Ginger Potato. That's a little bit of catharsis for me, at the very least. Now, I was sure that the night was cursed, so I asked Big Titty Goth Girlfriend if she would take us home. She was happy to stop interacting with random beards, and we all left. Yeah, that seems like a really weird party, bro. Overall, really strange, bad night. I never met Ginger Potato, Sociopath, or Middle School Nice Guy again. Neither Velveetabeard or Soybeard even tried to talk to a girl that night, despite being so sure that the girls would be all over them because of their fancy suits. Yeah, like I said, it's not the suit that's doing the work. Try being an interesting person, developing a personality, and then, maybe, just maybe. Next episode, Velveetabeard attends the local Ren Fair and tells us of how he could have totally gotten a girlfriend in the Middle Ages. Did you have a dowry? I don't think Velveetabeard could have afforded a dowry, okay? You can definitely tell that this took place on Halloween because all the freaks come out during Halloween. I'm pretty sure that's how it works, isn't it? You meet 3 beards in a row at 2 different parties. Like, it's pretty uncanny. Although OP's been pretty open that, yeah, his town has a lot of beards in it, I guess. But overall, it was a pretty good ride, you know. I dunked on OP a couple of times, but compared to parts 1 and 3, this is even better than part 2, I would say. We actually got beard interactions, and I feel so fucking blessed. Thank you so much, OP, for going back and rewriting some parts, giving us a bit more of that delicious beard cringe. I truly do appreciate it. I can tell that you're taking the criticisms on board, so I'll try not to be as hard on you in the future. Do you like being called Party Demon Whoa? Because, yeah, you got your own voice. I think that's the highest honor that I can bestow. Anyways, I hope that you guys did enjoy this episode as well. If you did, I hope that you like, comment, and or subscribe on the video. You know, maybe share it around. That's a pretty big brain play as well. We've got all kinds of links down in the description. Plugs, playlist, podcast, you know, Twitter, Discord, Facebook, all that stuff. Social medias. We're live streaming this on Twitch as per usual. I would also like to thank all of my wonderful channel members and patrons right now. So thank you. Wire Jerry, Darth Luscious, Harley Owen, Repent the Squirrel, Robert Waits, Camille Sarah, Chancellor Blue Kraken, Roxanne Wolf Simp Jerry, Conrad Ingy, Captain Cloud Jerry, Aaron Jerry, Esteban, Farad Lang, Son, Jerry Crusader, Origami Steve, Silent Revolver, PCB, Fluxer, Soldier of Industry, welcome my friend, Jerry, the original Jerry, that's who that is, Tick Jerry, Destiny Piper, Jerish Kitsune, 211 Jerry, the 2 Jerrys, a very tired Jerry, a Justy Jargonian Jerry, and Frankenberry, that's a hiding bitch, isn't it? Aspen XO, Assassin Pug Jerry, Aurora Wildheart, Baby Jerry, Bailey Joy, Bearded Jerry, Ben Ramirez, Bitch Gremlin, Blip Bloop Jerry. I'd like to order all the Jerrys in the register. Yes, this is a robbery. Oh my God, put your hands up. Bronze Kraken, Catholic Jerry, Commander J10, Confederate Jew, Dennis Jayton, Dr. Lux, Aaron Era, East Bars, Frozen Over Studios, Fire Drake, Gypsy, Hadrian BR, I'm Slim Jerry, yes, I'm the real Jerry, Inquisitor Jerry, Irish Pirate, Hoist the colors, there be a tendy frigate off the port bow. Iron Aloe, Irradiated Jam, a pimp named J. Crisp, J.M. Coon, Jerry Blacktail, Jerry the Outlaw Mother Trucker, John Hero, John Jerry, Jingleheimer Schmidt, Crew He, Cuddly Kraken, Legitimate Girth, Miss Monday, Lord Jerryo, Luca was a clever Patreon name. He drove so goddamn fast. Like it and subscribe. Milady Nix, The Last Jerry Bender, Malama Man, Melgar the Destroyer, Metal Facta, Needless King 89, Nightmare Jerry, Paragon Soul, Phantom of the Pines, Jerrykins and Jerry Beth, Queens, Quaaludes and Quagmires, Rose Jerry Miller, Sarita the Lolita, Sassy Octopus, Scarlet Scoven, Sergeant Gay Cop, Bringer of the Law, Silo Wimp, Stephanie Goodner, Synaptic Boomstick, Brilliant Tamago, Tapioca Boogaloo, Tato Ferret, the Italian Greyhound Dino, the Littlest Who, the One True Fusky, Train Boy, trying to find another marble to get back to the real world. You probably don't want to blow into that balloon knot. Stinky Balloon, V3 Prime, Vanguard Angel, Viking Jerry, WikiTac, Will Mags. Y'all remember that roller ring from a while ago? Turns out it was a Panda Express. I mean, it's now a Panda Express, or I'm a little confused by that. Zephyr the Gargoyle, Cobra Mooney, Kira, not another Jerry, but he is though. Redwind, Naga Viper, Saints Blessing, Third Stuff, Venom Jerry, Jace Christensen, Basic Bitch, Big Dad Wolf. One Leg Jerry, the Neckbeard Hunter. Normal Jerry, Admiral T-Tech, Amber Alder, another stupid hipster, Atomic Jerry Zilla, Bartender Keelia, Blueberry and Apple Pie, Broken Spine Horseradish, but Greedy Jerry's such a nice girl. Yes, nice. Cake Jerry, the original different Jerry, California Jerry Girl, Chevron 7 Lock, Chikara the Panda, Corey does art, sometimes. Corporal Admiral Princess Furry Warrior Woo Jerry, Crimp Titties, Defon Jerry, Defter Tuna, Dopamine Dane Jerry is Dr. Kodizawa, working on the Mountain Dew Destroyer to defeat Jerry Zilla. Dwarfy Dude, too tired to come up with anything. Just reread the name above me, Jerry. Dwarfy Dude, Jerry. Ghost of Alpha, he cannot. Janitor Jerry's roaming the streets of Finland, hunting down the Rudo headband. Jeffrey, Geralt of Rivia, Jerry and Tom versus Happy New Year's Way of the Apocalypse, Jerry Springer, the results are in. You are not the neckbeard. Yay! Jerry the Sussy Baka, Jerry's mom has got it going on. Check out the mustache on Jerry Aldo Rivera. Jerry Roxers, Jerry Role-Playing Game, Keaton Tales, Kid Marvelous, Kitzikin, Little Ann Woods, Lucia Lovecraft, Machia, CD, maybe next time, Milkfed Gim, Miss Duchess, Not Invisible Angel, Raptor Art, She's My Jerry Pie, Skymara Ravenswood, Snary, that's Nam Jerry, Snowman, what is best in life? To crush your neckbeards, to put them feet to Jesus, to hear the lamentations of their body pillows. Spoony the Rogue, Spoopy Scary Jerry Ton, Techno Dubs, the original Jerry, not, to Infinite Jerry and beyond. We on the way. Underwater movies, throws a 2-liter Mountain Dew. Grow, my neckbeard, grow. It's Jerry time, holds ReddX Morpher. Hygiene. It's Jerry time, holds ReddX Morpher. Humility. Good Lord, and thank you to my $1 patrons as well. We've also got those gorgeous channel members. You can join up by hitting join at the bottom of this video. Also leave a tip if you don't want it to be a recurring thing. We got Skylar May, Amara, oh that sounds familiar, Gypsy Barber, Train Boy, Fire Drake, A Tiny Void, Samantha, Desk Flagship, Bearded Snake, buy 2, get 1 hand. Definitely a couple of double dippers in there. I'll also be reading out the top Twitch contributors in the next day or two. You guys absolutely killing it, and I love you for it. So thank you for doing what you do. If you can afford to donate, that's absolutely huge. If you can't afford it right now, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you need to keep yourself safe out there, wash your hands, but also take some time out. Do something that you personally enjoyed today. Maybe like, I don't know, watching some more ReddX videos, right? That'd be cool, probably. Anyways, always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one, and until then, friends, bye-bye.